Okay, guys, so last news headline. So white and Indian South Africans are more likely to be appointed and given promotion. That's the finding of the new commission of the Commission for Employment Equality Reports. That's just been released this past week.
Transformation is very slow. If you look at the top two levels, in fact, three levels of organizations, occupational levels, you'll see that on average, we are having a 1 percentage point movement from the white population to the designated groups per annum, which is very, very slow. If you consider the fact that around 31.1% of the black population, that means African colored and Indian, is represented at top management. It means it's going to take us another 60 years if we follow this trajectory.
What role is government playing? Why is it failing in its oversight responsibility to regulate these companies to make sure they comply with, transformation targets and take tough action when they don't, to send that strong message?
Well, government is doing something. As far as the Department of Employment and Labor, we have an inspectorate division which consistently goes out to see what employers are doing, and especially if there has been any whistleblowing, we would, the inspectors would go out and inspect the extent to which employers are sticking to the employment equity plan and really trying to move in the right direction. But over and above that, I think I need to mention that, if you look at the number of employers that we have in South Africa, it would take a whole army of inspectors to inspect just in the space of employment equity. And what we're doing now is to say, in what other ways that are less labor intensive, however, quite stringent in being punitive, can we look at ensuring that we effectively manage the implementation of employment equity? And that's the amendment bill that we have in place, which seeks to promulgate Section 53 of the Act. And if I can just quickly talk to what that is about, Section 53 empowers the minister to issue a certificate of compliance to employers. And with that, employers would then, after the amendment bill has become law, would only be able to do business with government on condition that they have a compliance certificate issued to them by the minister. And we do believe that this is a strong enough whip to give to employers that are non-compliant.
Yeah, let's hope so, Tabea. Do you ever get reasons from these companies on why they are failing to comply with the law, why they continue to break the law? Because that's essentially what they're doing.
Yes, in terms of affirmative action, most employers tell us that they do not necessarily have the skill that they need from designated groups. And our response to that is to say that employers should look less towards recruiting externally, but rather farm their own timber internally. That means that they themselves should take it upon themselves to train up people and to create career pathing that can advance people to these top management positions. And we believe that is the most effective way to see transformation.
So we've also uploaded it, we'll share it with you guys and just have a look at it. It's crazy statistics, and all I can say about that is that thank you, Pravin Gordhan, because you've taken every single competent black person out of all the state-owned enterprise and replaced it with a white man. Now even private sector does not believe in our capabilities. Literally, black people are obviously the dumbest, the pits of the pits. Indians, coloreds, and white people stand a better chance of being appointed to senior managerial positions than we do. That's basically the long and short of what that report is saying, and it's scary, scary, scary stuff. So the scary part also is that this commissioner Tabea was basically stating that the sad thing is that they actually don't have any enforcement powers. So honestly, guys, we have an ANC, last week we were talking about the BE Commission and how it also doesn't have enforcement powers. So we basically have an ANC that's come up with all these great policies and these great plans, set up all these commissions such as the Equality Equity Commission and such as the BE Commission. They excellent concepts, great ideas, but execution dololo. There's no consequences, and that's why these companies continue to do the things that they're doing, because there are no repercussions. And honestly speaking, for us to be sitting and going through these reports each and every year is one, a waste of taxpayers' money. Cyril, close down all these commissions, because honestly speaking, I don't know what their jobs are, because if they have no enforcement powers, then what are their jobs? They're just to compile reports and tell us how bad things are, because that's exactly what's happening. Each and every week we've been reminded of how bad things are. I remember a time when Thabo Mbeki was still president. Thabo Mbeki was still president of the country, besides the fact that I'm an African, because now Nigerians are in and out of our country doing the most. But when Thabo Mbeki was still president, I remember he had a lot of executives, lot of top executives who were in key positions, state-owned enterprises that were black. He really pushed an agenda of black people. Black people were really occupying these spaces. And today, if you look at the SOEs, it's white people. You look at private sector, it's white people that are CEOs. They're not so why are we having white people heading up government departments and government agencies and government state-owned companies? Why is that happening? Where do you see a black person heading up a company, the JSE? You don't see that. And all I'm saying is that if I'm here voting for the ANC, I'm voting so the ANC can push the agenda of black people, and you're not doing that. So whose agenda are you pushing, and why must we continue voting for you? That's a question I'm asking all my viewers, and really think about it critically. Unfortunately, in this country, we don't have alternatives. I think because the DA, you mark me absence, give me a 0, madam. It's not happening. EFF, I get really down. No, 0. Mark me very much absent. So I think that's the issue. And I think it's going to be interesting to see the outcome of the direct election bill, which is being pushed by Musi, because now he doesn't have a political party. But it's going to be interesting, because ultimately that will enable people to actually run for president and run during the election without necessarily belonging to a particular political organization. So we look forward to that. But guys, scary findings. And another thing is that when the commission actually interrogates these white companies and they ask them, why are you not employing black people? They tell them that, look, they don't possess the skills. We're failing with the designated groups, basically. And here's a video. Listen, this is the commissioner herself. In her words, that's what they're saying. And it's so freaking disingenuous and so rude that you can say in a population where 80% are black, that you're telling me that that 20% that's actually educated and have gone to varsity and gotten their degrees don't possess the skills. It's not that they don't possess the skills, they don't possess the color. That's what's happening. And you must be frank about that. And honestly, our government needs to do something. We need to penalize these people. You cannot be pleading with private sector as if they're existing in a vacuum. They exist in our country. They have to abide to the countries of the laws and of this country. And if they can't and they won't do that, there must be repercussions. Whether they're white, black, orange, or Indian, we want to see the same energy. Same energy, Cyril. Same energy.